All right, welcome back to the UJ Chevrolet pregame show. Todd Morris with you here on the Bulldog Radio Network, and it's time to sit down for our weekly pregame interview with head football coach Sam Williams. And Coach, really solid win last Friday night against BC Rain, moving to 2-0 in region play. But I want to talk offense, but before we do that, we got to talk defense first, man. 5 picks. They played. They were just ball hawks last week. And they get another score for you, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. When you're scoring at all three in all three phases, we hadn't gotten a special teams touchdown, but obviously had a big return early in the game. It eases the burden on offense, and you don't talk about it a ton. It's kind of like one of those things you used to hear about all the time. But field position wise, when you're picking the ball off, taking it away, you typically have a lot better starting field position. But those guys, varsity guys, have given up 6 points in the last 2 games, so really had some great performances, and hope they continue that this week.
Yeah, I think that's 8 interceptions now for us on the season in the first 3 games, and Coach Brett West got him hustling over the football, man.
And it's like like I told him. When you're we're sitting at like +6 turnover margin on the season, we haven't turned the ball over on offense much at all. That you win a lot of games,
man. Knock on wood, there.
Yeah, well, you just got to speak it into existence. So.
Well, that's good. But quarterback Max Fowler with another stellar night last Friday night, but not just throwing the ball. This time he showed us he could run the ball and became another threat for you, and I don't think BC Rain was expecting that.
No, it was a big part of the game plan. In games where we got to win, he's going to have to run, and we knew that. So we had some I thought we had some good design quarterback runs in for him, and then he did a good job, in his read game, pulling it and running it. So I was proud of him. He ended up 75%. I had to cook him steaks. Had to cook him and my Brantley Irwin, my assistant quarterbacks coach, and Wynn Elliott. We had some fillets last night, so that was the deal. If they get 75% completion percentage, we eat good. So proud of him for that.
4 touchdowns Max accounted for, 2 throwing, 2 rushing, and I guess in your offense that's pretty much expected. He's got to be the guy. He's got to be the guy in charge.
Yeah, he does, and that's that's what I'm proud of him right now. Is he's very in control, and as the competition level goes up, that's what you have to maintain. Right. Is you have to stay and play within yourself, not try to do too much. There's going to be some times throughout the year where he's got to press a little bit and take a little more chances, but that's why you've seen him play so clean and play so good. As he hasn't tried to do too much yet. He's really just playing within himself. He's got to, when we do run him, he's got to get out of bounds when he can and slide, every now and then, like, when there's 5 guys around him. But we talked about that in film when we came in on Monday.
We need him to play all 10 games.
Yeah, we need him to play all 10 games, yes.
Yeah, Perry Hand with a big night defensively for the Bulldogs last week. We mentioned he had a pick 6 in the game, but 11 tackles. He's your quarterback on that defensive side right now with Kaplan out, and he stepped up to it.
Just like Max, Perry's got to play at a really high level, and he's got to lead those guys on that side. And we're obviously super ready for Cappy to get back, and excited for that when that happens. But at the end of the day, Perry has really led the guys well, and there's been a number of other guys that stepped up. I mentioned John Ellis Pritchard last week,
yes.
And playing inside linebacker, he looked good again this week. So it's just been a really cool team effort over there. And again, a lot of teams, when you have a guy like Cappy go down, everybody kind of starts looking around and like flinching and worrying about him. And that we really haven't had any of that because they believe in each other. And Cappy's done a really good job of handling it and telling those guys he believes in them.
Huge game this week against the number 1 team in 5A, the Vigor Wolves. We've struggled against them the last couple of years, and they've been putting up a ton of points this year. That defense is really going to get stretched this week. What have you been telling the guys this week?
Yeah, I just think it's kind of one of those things where you kind of know what you have to do, right? And then it comes down to, can you do it? And so talking about not giving up the big play, and we have done that really well this year. Even going back to week 1 against St. Paul's, we didn't give up a ton of big chunk plays. So just kind of having the understanding and the awareness that a 15-yard penalty is better than a 70-yard touchdown. And you can give those up occasionally in this game, but they're super dynamic. The toughest thing about them is it's not one guy that they're dependent on outside. They can throw to all 4 guys, and they spread it pretty evenly. And Sammy Dunn does a great job back there at quarterback. So we've just got to do a really good job of playing team defense. Not any one individual for us on defense is going to go win this game. We got to take the ball away a couple of times. We got to get them uncomfortable. And again, the backbreakers is what you can't have. I said that in an interview earlier this week. You just can't have those big bombs that they hit every now and then.
The other thing is Vigor's big up front.
Yes.
Not that we haven't seen big up front this year, but they're big up front.
Right.
what's our game plan for that every
Well,
week? I know we have to talk about
yeah,
it.
the good news for this week is it's pretty vanilla up front for them offensively. You know,
Okay.
it's the pass protection is the exact same every time, and then you're getting pretty much zone and GT counter, which they see all the time. We've been seeing that for the last 6 months with what we do. So I feel good about the fits. I feel good about being able to fit it up. You know, when it comes to this particular game, you'd honestly rather see run than pass. You know what I mean? Just as a general. So they'll get some light boxes from time to time just to kind of give them the illusion that they can run the football. And like I've told you a million times, I'll trust Nelson to have his guys fitting up the run and Perry to sitting there and make tackles with John Ellis.
Usually in a game like this, special teams can be a factor somewhere along the line. You know, when you look at us special team wise, Kingston's having a pretty good year. We had a block punt last week, though. We had a couple onside kicks that we didn't do very well on recovering there towards the end of the game.
You're making my eye twitch. So
hopefully we're getting all that cleaned up.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a complete lack of focus when you get up and you're just dominating the game and you shut off and then you got to go back out there. And we addressed that and, you know, moved on from it. But, you know, we've played really well on special teams. You know, we really have. We've done some really good stuff. We've been great in coverage teams. We'll have to be really good in cut. They have great dynamic returns. We have to be really good with our coverage teams this week. And then as far as our return teams, I mean, you got to see some stuff. You got to make some plays. It's got to be a weapon for you. So I think that we have to dominate that phase of the game, and then we've got to win one of the other two, obviously.
So you talked a little bit about Cappy. Give us an injury update.
Yeah, I mean, he's moving around. He looks good. You know, it's right now it's all about him and taking care of him. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to do. We're always going to take care of our kids and make sure that, you know, he's 100% and he feels, you know, mentally ready to come back. And you never want to put him out there too early. So Walt and Stacy and those guys in the training room doing a great job of working with him. And, you know, we'll lean on them and the doctors. And when he's ready, he'll be back.
Anybody else we got to be worried about?
No, we've you know, other than just like I said, our occasional bumps and bruises. I mean, we're pretty good going into this week, and then you get the bye week after, so you feel pretty good, and then a non-district to kind of get healed up for that stretch run in district. But this is a big one now. You know, this is a big one for our area, for our region, and it's like I've been telling the kids this week, just go out there and show people you belong, because you do, because they you know, we'll be the toughest team that they've played, and they'll be the toughest one we've played. But I believe we've played some tough competition.
All right, Coach. Thanks for joining us on the pregame show. Good luck tonight, but we always appreciate sitting down with you.
Yeah, appreciate it, Tom.
All right. That's UMS-Wright head football coach Sam Williams joining us here on the UJ Chevrolet pregame show. Stick around. We'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a minute. You're listening to the Bulldog Radio Network right here on Sports Talk 99.5 Mobile, an iHeart radio station.